This is going to be part 2 to the coolant rebuild on the Mk4 GTI. Just as a little recap, we went ahead and pretty much replaced all the coolant flanges. We do have aluminum upgrades, as you can see right here. We did also replace the thermostat housing to an aluminum upgrade as well, which is going to be right over there. Previously, we did have leaks over here and over here, and today we're basically just going to go ahead and reassemble everything. So starting off, this right here is going to be our new ECS radiator. I went ahead and got a new drain plug, a little like a radiator hose like connection over here. It's super nice, super crisp, way better than the old one. And we did also get another one over there. I did these off camera, but these are just going to be quick releases, so it's pretty easy to put on. Just plop it on, close a quick release. And now we are going to go ahead and torque this down. Right here is going to be our radiator fan switch, and it is going to be torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that on my torque wrench. There we go. And now we have it all torqued to spec. So now we're going to go ahead and unbox our fan over there. And right over here is going to be the new fans that we are going to go ahead and install. We can go ahead and pull out our new fan assembly. And this thing is pretty mint. The one previously before was making a lot of noise. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just save some money and we'll go ahead and put a new one. But yeah, this is a very nice, pretty new one. So I'm pretty excited. So I've yet to kind of pull everything in. Just kind of wanted to take a look at it. But this thing is starting to look pretty crazy. Brand new radiator with brand new fans. These things are going to be super quiet. It is going to be very nice, because one thing that was a little bit annoying was I think the old fans were giving out. So all right, so we got the fan pretty much all mocked up on the radiator. It is going to be secured by 4 mounting points right over here. And this thing's starting to look really good. I'm pretty excited just because, I don't know, it's really nice to have new parts, let alone like pretty much have a whole new assembly. So I'm pretty excited to put this on. Luckily, I low-key forgot where some of the bolts went, but since this is an aftermarket radiator, it did come with its own hardware and everything. The only caveat to that being the mounting hardware is going to be really small. So to kind of compensate with that without over torquing the bolts and stretching them out, I am going to be using this nice blue thread locker. It's not going to be like a forever solution or anything, but it'll kind of keep them in place when we experience like road vibrations from driving and stuff without these coming loose. So we'll go ahead and basically put this on, and then yeah, go get back to you guys once I'm finished with that. All right, and this is going to be the last bolt that does need thread locker for attaching the fan assembly onto the radiator. And then after this, we should be all set. And now I should be all good to kind of mount the condenser over there onto here. Hopefully we can go ahead and get that on after. Just reassemble everything super easy. All right, so now that we have the whole fan assembly and the fan switch and all the stuff that needs to go on the radiator is now on the radiator, we can go ahead and hook up the condenser up to the radiator now. So it is going to be secured by these 4 mounting holes over here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we do also hook up the AC line down here to this right here onto the radiator. I did have to remove the coolant drain plug right over there just to go ahead and make some clearance, just because it was knocking into this AC line. But that is something that we can go ahead and reinstall a little bit later. All right, so we've done a little bit since the last part, but over here, what we basically did was we basically screwed in the radiator little mounts into the core support. And then we also just went ahead and tightened these over here. But yeah, pretty much everything moving forward is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to be reassembling everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure to torque everything down, make sure everything is all to spec. But yeah, while we're underneath the car, I went ahead and connected the lower radiator hose to the little radiator drain plug connector over here. And I am going to go ahead and tighten this momentarily. Along with that, we are going to also plug in our fan connectors as well. They're going to be right here. And I'm going to plug them into these ones and our brand new fan over here. Looks super pretty. Everything looks super good. I'm super excited. And then we did also plug in our radiator fan switch right over here. Little tip that I like to use basically on any old plastic connectors is getting this. It's a dielectric grease, and what this basically does is it protects and it kind of just prevents the plastic from breaking or anything. Over time, a lot of these parts don't get changed for over years, so kind of just putting a thin layer on the female and the male connector just makes it easier to go ahead and just connect and disconnect when you do have to service in the future. We're going to go ahead and put this in just to kind of future-proof everything, just to make it a little bit easier. So now we're all finished. We have all the connectors all lubed up and plugged in, and yeah, and we also got this tightened up. So that should be it from I got all the work that's going to be done underneath the car. We'll go ahead and move up there, and then we'll go ahead and kind of get started finishing putting everything back together. Up here, we are just going to go ahead and connect this hose, and we're going to have to tighten this hose clamp, and that should be it in terms of the connections to the radiator. And then, yeah, we should be all good to reassemble the other parts. All right, so we got the crash bar on. Just went ahead and bolted everything. It was 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4 right over here. And then we also had 6 bolts. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got 5 right here, and then also 6 over here. We also went ahead and did was just kind of give the mass airflow sensor a little clean. It's been a little bit since this thing's been cleaned, so had to do that. But guess what? We got the bumper on, and now she's starting to look like an actual car. So I just went ahead and installed the mass airflow sensor right now. It's all dry and clean, and now we're just gonna go ahead and tighten the bolts down. All right, so I pretty much just put everything back together, made sure everything was all torqued to spec. I went ahead and installed the battery, did all this over here, and now we're just gonna go ahead and put some coolant in the system. So we got the cap off right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some coolant, and then we'll go ahead and start filling it up. All right, this is going to be the first start, so let's hope and pray that everything works and I did everything correctly. We got power. Let's see if it cranks. Okay, so this car's been sitting, so it's gonna be a pretty cold start. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let it sit and let the system burp itself. So I pretty much topped off the tank. As you can kind of see right here, we got a little coolant coming out, so it's gonna go ahead and just start recirculating and kind of burping itself. And now we just gotta check for leaks. So the common area where we did see leaks was over here by this coolant flange, which it looks like replacing the gaskets did do the trick, and I'm not seeing any leakage over here. And let's go check. What the fuck was that? All right, I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but it looks like everything's in good working condition. Oh, that shaking was this falling. I'm kind of goofy. I think we're chilling. I don't see any leaks coming out from over here, which is good. So if more fluid is gonna leak, it's gonna come from here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up, wipe it up, and kind of just monitor it for the next couple of days. Very, very successful video. We do have the GTI now running and driving. I'm gonna go ahead and check for leaks, but I don't think we're gonna have any just cause I'm like that. But yeah, very, very, I don't know, very, very cool upgrade. Pretty happy. And now I can go road tripping without having to worry if this is gonna make it.